I'm starving.
Me too. You are a new person.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the August 28th, 2024 Apex Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources Advisory Commission meeting. We always start our meetings with a quick vacation, so if you would, join me in a moment, bow your heads. Thank you. Now, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And as always, the minutes are sent out ahead of the meeting for folks to get a chance to take a look and bring to the meeting any corrections or amendments necessary. If there aren't any and everybody's in agreement, we just need an approval, a motion for the approval of the June 26th meeting minutes.
Need a motion to approve?
Second. Oh.
Motion and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Also looks like we've combined a few of our agenda topics together. So we'll start off with executive report and projects program report.
So the very first thing we'll do is I'll call up Lisa, as she has someone she is going to introduce to us tonight. It's a new employee. So
Hey, I'm Lisa Roschke, and thanks for having me again, Special Events Manager. And I'm super excited to give a welcome to Megan Shea. She's our Special Event Specialist, and she'll be helping us with all of our events. We have 44 events now here in Apex. If you have any questions about those, please see us. Here's Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan. I am, as she said, the new Special Event Specialist, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys and be on board and help create all these events. I went to NC State for my undergrad, and I was there my past year working in the athletic development department, and now I'm here, and I'm excited, and we're going to create some great events for you guys. So nice to meet everyone, and again, I'm Megan.
Thank you.
Welcome.
welcome.
NC State, I'm seeing this recurring thing.
So I will introduce Lisa Montoya. She is our new member. So Lisa, would you like to share anything tonight?
I did write something up just in
Okay.
case,
All right.
because I didn't want to say, So I'm a licensed health insurance agent by trade with over 20 years experience in both community and event planning. I'm honored to bring my can-do attitude to help support an incredibly knowledgeable team of representatives. I've been an Apex resident for 19 years now. I moved here from Los Angeles, California with my husband, dogs, and 3 sons, and we immediately took advantage of everything Parks and Rec had to offer back in 2005. And to this day, I'm still at Apex Parks at least 5 days a week. So now that my sons are all grown, I was looking for a way to give back to the town that I do love so much. I believe the health of a town can be measured by the use of its parks and rec programs, and I appreciate this opportunity to serve.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So for us, we've got obviously Megan Shea just started. We have a couple of new people that you'll meet along the way. Bradley Cole is going to start working with Angela to help on the project side of things. A well-needed and deserved position for our department because all the projects that she's going to at least give you some highlights on in a second. So I wanted to let y'all know about that. We have a new parks ops position. It's an inventory and warehouse specialist. Tim Cox is coming in to help with that side of things with all the parks and facilities that we have now. It's a need for us from an inventory perspective to make sure all of our restrooms and facilities are stocked and cleaned, and so that's a really important position for us as well. We did lose one of our directors, our camp directors for youth. We have hired Stephen Tietkin as our next director, and they'll start on September 3rd. He's currently working with us as a part-timer, but we hired him on full-time. So if you haven't heard about our day camps, they're amazing. We're starting to get waitlisted on all of them for the most part. We've got one that's kind of it's always weak pretty much everywhere. I think it's track 3 that we're struggling with. It's just not as large of a track, so I think that at times we'll be full there, but not always. Facilities wise, splash pad. We had a inquiry about potentially continuing on with scheduling of splash pad because we were going to stop after Labor Day, and we have been requested, and we showed flexibility, and we're going to keep the splash pad open only on weekends through the end of September now. So originally, right after Labor Day, we were going to shut it down. I think the weather's kind of dictating that too, because I think it is a little bit warmer in this time frame now than what it used to be potentially. And we're cutting back the weekday schedule because of the staffing issues. Everybody's going back to school, so we kind of got cut down on staffing. We did put in sound barriers at pickleball courts. So if you hear about that, yes, we did. So we put them on one side at Pleasant Park, and we did it over at Community Park. We were getting some neighbor concerns, so hopefully that will cut down on some of the noise from pickleball courts. So those are some quick updates there. For the major projects, I'm going to let Angela give you a quick detail on that.
Good evening. So we've advised you before, we have 4 active greenway projects that are under construction. Apex West, which is Olive Chapel to the ATT, is pretty much complete. We're just waiting to do some final punch list items, and we'll roll that out and then be able to request our reimbursement from Wake County for funding that they had provided for us for that project. Middle Creek is, most of phase 1 is complete. It's not open to the public. It won't be for a while because it's the section that goes under 540. So until they open 540 and that is considered accessible, we can't open the northern piece of it. And the southern section where we connect to Holly Springs is where we were relocating a lift station. So until that moves and we can go behind it and build the greenway, that trailhead and all that won't be completed. But we are planning, and I'm giving you advanced warning, October 18th, 2025. On Great Trail State Day, we are going to do some kind of big event. It will be added to the special events, but to do state recognition with Holly Springs and hopefully Wake County to celebrate that regional corridor. So we'll both have our new sections open, but we'll be able to do some kind of big event, and we're working on something that will utilize the whole section where there might be stations to stop. So in that time frame, we'll be inviting you all out to come and help share that good event and be recognized at the state level, since we also have gotten some funding from the state at the northern section for our future trail connection. And then we'll bring in all of our partners, hopefully with some great giveaways and some fun stuff. So we're really excited because we haven't really been able to celebrate our trails in the past. So we're going to advance plan a year plus in advance, but that's exciting for us in that sense. Beaver Creek is moving along. We're seeing a lot of progress there. So that LAP funding project is a good one to have going. It was a long time coming, and it's still moving. And we're just about done with the small gap in Reedy Branch in the Sweetwater neighborhood that was waiting on a Clomar, and then the construction was delayed. But that's the last piece of that boardwalk, and that will connect a large section that's from Sweetwater all the way west to the ATT. And the developer who's got another gap in that segment is mobilized and working, so we'll finish that complete section, and we're going to apply for a grant for the finishing piece that's the east end from the Sweetwater neighborhood to Kelly Road. So that would be a whole completed corridor of greenway if we can get that design and construction going in the next year or two. West Street Park, we're getting ready to start on that project. So there'll be public engagement events. We've got a lot of great ideas about how to, kind of tackle that from a different perspective. So you'll be seeing things about that. A lot of public outreach, a lot of information sharing, and getting some really good ideas on how to redevelop that park based on what the community adjacent to it is looking for and what we need as a town to fill some gaps. Street hockey, we're waiting on permits, and then we'll be ready to start construction. Got a company lined up, they're ready to go, just need those permits in hand. And working on our fee study for both land dedication fee in lieu requirements, which you guys get to hear about all the time, and how the ordinance applies, as well as all of our fees and cost recovery that was mentioned in the master plan. So we're going to try to implement that this winter and have it ready for when we adopt fees next July. So lots of moving parts on those aspects. Trying to think if there's any. Oh, this year we're also going to be doing a look at the design for Kidstown playground renovation. Really reaching back out to say this is this park that was community built, and engaging and finding out how folks see it today. So it'll be a different kind of, not just simply a renovation plan, but a plan that addresses that past story of that park. So we've got some neat ideas on how to tell the story of what happened and how it got to be where it is, and then how do we bring that kind of feeling back to a newer replicated type of playground. So more public engagement opportunities. We'll be inviting all of you to help us spread the word and share information and get details back from our resident. And then we've got funds to do design for looking at a roof for the street hockey rink, as well as renovation of the playground that's closely adjacent to that, in a much more inclusive and accessible manner, so that when we bring folks who are like in the sled hockey program with the Hurricanes, that we'll have another opportunity for those participants and their programs to come to a facility that's got their kinds of needs in mind. So trying to plan for that. We know we needed the renovation, but to tie it into and then be able to potentially put the roof on the structure and maybe find some partners for that.
Environmental education.
We do have a consultant selected for the Environmental Education Center. They've got a proposal, so we're just waiting to finalize that contract, and we'll start that design project. And Pleasant Park, second phase of that. Been working through proposals to get that work underway, which would finish the baseball fields, the field house, and a storage facility, large shelter for 250 people, and that open play lawn. So,
Cross-country.
I'm sorry.
And cross-country?
Yeah, that'll be part of it.
yeah, cross country will be finished with the open play field. So I think that's kind of a lot of what we've got going on. Only a few. And I'll have Bradley here probably at the next meeting. Lucky for us, he is a current employee of the town, has a great history of working in projects and being in the field, managing lap projects and all the paperwork and documentation that goes with that. So I anticipate he's already jumping in on some meetings and projects as he's closing out his other role. So I think we're going to have a really strong in the field presence, but also somebody who's got a lot of knowledge about managing projects. And so we've got already some ideas of how to create some processes and stuff that will help us be more consistent across all of our projects and keep them moving, and having all the information we need available. So I think that's all of,
Those are the highlights.
those are the highlights.
We have a lot of Greenway stuff going on.
Is the pump track still in?
Oh, wow,
Bike?
yes. So we've been working and answering questions for the firm that we selected to do the work, scope and fees, trying to work out some of the questions about the site. And so, all of the pieces that are coming together for them to formulate that. That is a design build contract, which the town has never done before. So, so we're going to see how that process really plays out, but I think it's a good one to do that. It's just even navigating our own internal processes of how do you get a plan approval for dirt that's being moved to be dirt and not, it's not going to be, it's stabilized, but it's not grass covered, and explaining how, it's not a building footprint. And so there's some questions about where it falls into the plan review and everything. So we're all learning as we go along. But
Like with the skate plaza.
yeah, it was sort of like the skate plaza. But we'll operate it. Our plan is to operate it the same, open, have it lit in the same manner, not heavily lit like field lighting, but with enough that it can be utilized pretty much 24 hours a day. And it won't be gated and closed off. And so I think it's been successful for us here, and that provides people opportunities to go out and use it when it's cool in the morning or before work. So so we think that's going to be a good facility, and we have a lot of excitement about it. It's just trying to get that right focus there. So hopefully they'll have that soon, and we'll be able to. But it's a different process, so we're, like I said, we're learning as we go along.
Quick question, the
Yes.
West Street Park Community Engagement, we're doing another one of those?
Yes.
Is that to show them what we're planning to do? Because I remember we did one before, right, to get ideas. So are we doing another one to get more ideas, or are we just showing them what's gonna?
So during the master plan process, we did that community engagement, and McAdams had created 2 concept plans. Some of what we found when those concept plans came back to us were that some of the features of that were really not possible for us to do. And 2 is, while we had those, we didn't necessarily feel like we had a lot of input. We, did things, but we didn't have a substantial number of responses and people attending. So we're trying to, again, look at how to get more engagement, more on-site. We've had some ideas about having some features like put up that would almost even mark out options and let people go to the site and experience some of those things. But definitely a way not to change anything about what was, requested before, but definitely to try to expand on that. And some of those, again, those concepts that came out, we didn't pursue those as the plan because they either had aspects that didn't really meet the requests, or that as we did more research to try to see how to pursue those, like taking that piped stream and opening it, we got direction from Water Resources, and that would be very difficult and would actually cause us more trouble, and long-term be a harder way to maintain the site and make it less natural. So, and there's some changing dynamics right around the adjacent properties, like a house developed next door that wasn't there before. So moving the basketball court closer to that one end so we could light it we now run into the same problem that we had at the other end. So we've got to rethink how those things are, and we felt like we needed to gather more input.
Engage the community more on those potential changes.
Right, and we have more information now that guides that to like the things that we shouldn't offer as options because we literally can't do them, or we could try to do something, but we need to ask our council to make an exception to their rules, which we try not to do. We want to plan within the rules, not need to immediately ask for the town to be granted an exception that we wouldn't grant somebody else.
Right.
And I think with the timing of it, offering, if there are new residents there,
Yeah, 'cause
that input too,
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
yeah, there have been quite a bit of folks to move there since that last community engagement that wasn't there.
If that's what it takes to get better information, if they don't want to be at a big event, how do we engage with them one-on-one and get people's true feelings about what they want to see? So I think we've got some really neat alternatives that we haven't used before. It's just which ones do we implement, and do they resonate with everyone? Because we want to gather that.
Good deal.
Any other? All right.
So I'll add a few things.
Sure.
This is a long report, so normally we don't go this long, but I think we've been away for so long, I feel like I need
He's at
to
home by now.
give them some information, so I'm just letting you know. Because I told her that, what was it, yesterday?
Yes.
These are normally pretty short, but we're stretching this one out a little bit longer. So Festa Italiana, it's a new festival coming to Apex, September 21st, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Hunter Street and on the town campus, so be aware of that. Latino Arts Festival is going to be held on Saturday, September 28th from 3 to 9 p.m. at the Depot. Some programs that we're really excited about. The Apex Youth Council. We had applications from 8th graders to 10th graders, and we received 150 applicants. And we took 90 new members, and we held on to 60 returning members, so we have 170 students this year for the Youth Council, which is amazing. So kudos to our folks for that. For our youth athletics, we're kind of just continuing to grow that program. And we broke some numbers for teams and players in the fall. We currently have 187 teams and 2,374 participants. So those are really good numbers for us. And yeah, there you go. Just wanted to shine a light on that.
Good deal.
Craig, I have a question about the splash pad.
Okay.
Our family's been out there several times and we love it, and everyone loves it. But I have a question about the water pressure and the pump system. Is there any update on that or progress, or is it kind of like ebb and flowing?
We're ebb and flowing.
Yeah.
We still have a leak in the manifold, and we are in contact with them about repairing it. And our hope is once the manifold is repaired, the pressure itself will work out better. It's been a battle keeping it up and running.
I'm sure every time we're out there, we have a blast. So it's not a knock on that. It's just, you hear people say things like, it's amazing out here, but what's up with the water pressure? And it'd be nice to have, now we have something to say and say, hey, this is in progress. So
Yeah. So, and we can adjust some of the features too. So you can take some of the features out and it would create more pressure in the other features. So we can kind of adjust things if there are concerns about the pressure. This is the first time I've heard about the pressure side of it. I do know we have that leak in the manifold, which could be relieving some of the pressure in the system. But when you have a ton of different features on at one time, it could just take away that pressure too. So that's a conversation I can have with them about the programming side of it too.
okay, and I could talk to you more about it offline too.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's one more question. This is where Pleasant Park came up. How often are y'all looking at that playground out there and peeking at it? Like I was out there today, I took a picture, I'll show it to you for later, and like a clear piece was broken on one of the features and fallen off. So I know, like, we take to both the splash pad in the park, and I've not seen it.
They should be inspecting the playground.
Okay.
Walk through it.
Okay.
At least weekly.
Sure.
once a
Okay.
week.
It just gets, and it's nobody's fault except for that it's used
It's so heavy
all the time.
And
Yeah.
we're running into that more than I believe we
Expected.
thought we would be running into it because of the heavy use of it. But I'll make a note of that and have them. Which part is it? We'll just send me a picture.
I'll send you. Yeah, 'cause it's like a sub feature with the chains and like it's like that kind of climbing orange circle thing. I don't even know what it's called.
The frisbee.
The frisbee. There, you know what it is. It's great, and I don't
It's the one
know.
on the slope with the.
Yeah. And I don't know, if there's still manufacturer warranties to help you all out with that, but
I'm sure there are.
so.
Well,
Well, we do, and we had another piece that literally
there was another piece that literally
was a
broke.
complete failure. And
Like, who's doing that?
I did. Okay.
For you.
So we're running into some different things that.
And it's I don't want to say it's a good problem to have. It's because it's so loved and used, but it's
Well, I think this one piece was not necessary.
okay. Well, yeah.
It was like a seesaw.
Oh yeah, I saw that disappear.
I mean, it snapped in the ground, and the only,
Okay.
they have come up with a solution, and I mean, they're bringing a whole team of people, and
Great.
but for all the testing that they did before they released that, they have had no other component any place else that they've installed that has broken.
Just happens.
So they have to rethink the whole design and try to fix ours in place without
Well, they're done.
having to tear it all out, so.
Sounds like we bought the 2-year warranty at checkout.
I'll also say
Extended warranty.
Yeah.
the fence at the end of the natural play area down the hill is kudos to the foresight of adding that. I think that's made a big difference.
Good.
I think notice more people seem to be there now. So kudos to the team, whoever kind of pushed that.
There were some driving forces there. But
So,
we do listen. So
yeah, I would never thought of it, but then when y'all mentioned it, I saw it, and it makes a big difference. So.
we definitely listen. So.
Good to go, Craig? Good here? All right. Thanks, man. Next is chairman's report. No report from me. Just feels like Happy New Year, like we're back. We had a little break, so Happy New Year. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome, Lisa, to the team. So that's all I have there, and then we'll leave some room for public comment. Doesn't seem like much this evening. No old business, and like Angela's back with the new business.
So far out view, this is our future parkland and indoor facility search area. Just to give you a perspective of where this project is in relation to that. What we're looking at is the Oliver property, which is a subdivision that is 15.94 acre tract that's located on the north side of Hume Olive Road, east of New Hill Olive Chapel Road, west of Olive Farm Road, and is directly adjacent or across the street from the location of our future Olive Farm Park. So to give you that zoomed in view, the park is right here, and that's the property. The property is proposing a maximum of 47 single-family detached units as a part of a rezoning from R40W in Wake County to low-density residential conditional zoning. A portion of the property is located within a indoor park search or indoor facility search area, which is identified on our master plan. But based on the proximity to the future park, and with only a portion of it being within that zone, and the fact that it's only just under 16 acres, the numbers of units, we're not recommending an indoor facility be located at that site. And a little bit different than a lot of the projects that you hear about. This is a conditional zoning, not a planned unit development. So while normally this project and this recommendation would go to town council with the rezoning, we in fact will take it as a separate item at the time that the subdivision plan is approved. So the rezoning would have to be approved by town council first, and then at some point after that, if that was approved, they would submit subdivision plans to the technical review committee, and prior to Parks and Recreation staff as a member of that committee approving the subdivision plan, we would take our recommendation, whatever you guys determine is the recommendation, to town council, and then they will make their decision on whether or not our recommendation of a fee in lieu is the appropriate action. So the current rate is $4,165.28 per single-family detached residential unit, but based on the timing, we assume it probably wouldn't be reviewed by town council with a subdivision plan until 2025, so the rate would be adjusted to whatever year that plan was presented to them. So our recommendation is for a fee in lieu for this, and I'm ready to answer any questions.
So we're recommending a fee in lieu now, but it's not taking any action until.
Correct. We would take that action when they go, but they had asked partly because a lot of times these projects you guys don't see, because a lot of times the straight conditional zoning, which is, I'm saying that kind of in an odd way, but a conditional zoning that's not part of a planned development, you normally don't see because they're very small properties, because most people do the larger properties as planned unit developments. And so we take those normally just directly as a subdivision plan, but you might not have ever reviewed them because they're exempt from being reviewed by this board. This one just happened to fall over the number of units. And so you're hearing about it because they need your recommendation, but we won't take that recommendation forward until they do a subdivision plan.
Other questions?
I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation for fee in lieu for the Oliver property rezoning.
I'll second.
Motion and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
I believe that was it. Now we only need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Sweet.